How are we doing? Welcome to another report with this is the Raw Report AR News. I'm Ryan Jackson Saw. Today we're talking about the Australian fuel crisis, which seems to be affecting every country around the world right now. But we are definitely getting hard hit here in this country, and no one knows that better than the Australian truckers, who are right now many trucks you're seeing pulled up on the side of the road, unable to afford the fuel to transport goods around the country. So we're talking today with Wayne. Wayne's an Australian trucker, has been for many, many years, and he knows what's going on the ground. How you going, Wayne?
Hey, you going, Ron? How are you?
Not too bad, mate. So yeah, do you want to tell us a bit about how these increased fuel prices are affecting the truckers?
It's killing them, absolutely killing us all, killing us. And we go to the company, ask them for a ride, or fuel level, and they can't afford it. Because you got to remember, we've also just come out of a pandemic, So companies just, they're very tight with money. I think they're scared, but the fuel, diesel, man, it's killing the owner drivers. It's absolutely killing. There's no money in trucks at all. I'll tell you that right now. 37 years in the business, and that's only driving. I was virtually born into it, right, from my father's side. So when we used to run the highway, and it was the old roads back then, if you got from Melbourne to Brisbane and all up, it was like, say $900. That was good, But nowadays, you got your B-doubles, you got big hills and that. Like, just to go from Melbourne to Sydney and fill the tanks, your 400 litres plus, there's $2,000 already gone.
$2,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
coming out of the bottom line.
Oh yeah. Well, the vehicle I'm in, I only run around local in Dandenong, so I don't. The farthest I go is probably a 30-minute drive, but I do probably maybe five, 6, 7 trips in a day backwards and forwards to that from A to B. And it just kills it. It kills it. It just kills it.
Do you reckon a lot of truckies and the businesses that we rely on as our bread and butter for the country, you reckon they're going under with all this?
It's hard to say, Ryan. It's the owner drivers are battling as it is now. We went through the COVID stuff, and now we're coming into this, and people are still struggling from the pandemic. So it's going to kill the owner drivers. And look, there's a majority of owner drivers now are foreigners, new foreigner people, and they're just parking them up. They're on lower rates than what we are on. We're on 80 an hour. And, you think, beauty, $80 an hour is a lot of money. Well, a lot of companies are charging more. There is a company charging $120 an hour, So he'll put his rates up a little bit. But for us on 80 an hour, there's no money in it. If that motor blows or that gearbox breaks, that's it. I might as well just leave it on the side of the road.
Yeah. So they don't have enough money there to do vital repairs, and basically a lot of people are stopping their trucks. So that means the packages aren't getting delivered, the food's not getting delivered, and there's less and less trucks on the road to get the stuff around. Is that right?
Well, yeah. Sooner or later, you hop in your car and you go for a drive, and I'm still amazed there's so many cars on the road, right? Because look, whether it's true or not, apparently there's rumours going around that we got a 30-day fuel, and now it's down to we got 9 days left of fuel. We don't know. Who knows? But if that fuel does die down really bad, no one's going to drive their cars or vans. So how are you going to get the food around? How are you going to get anything?
Yeah, maybe it's part of the great reset that they have planned for us, basically pricing us out of our own society, and so that they can come in and save us at the end of the day with their with their free housing and free food and accommodation and everything. But they own everything. Do you reckon that's what's going on?
Oh, look, we're controlled. There's no doubt about it. We're truly controlled, you know? Like, hello, it's voting time. Let's see what happens. You know, is ScoMo going to drop his drop the fuel down just before the D-Day to tick the box? You know, it's too late.
So, how's your bottom line being affected right now? Are you still able to make money?
I'll be out of a job next week. I can tell you now.
Right.
I've already been told. He can't keep the thing going, not at the rates where, and he's asked the company, and like they've like, nah, we can't do it, you know. So what's he got to do? You know, he's just running a truck for nothing. You know, he's not making nothing.
What's what happens when we shut down all of our oil refineries in Australia, and we put all of our fuel going through Singapore, controlled by international companies. Now we have no security. Now people like yourself are basically feeling the pinch, and soon we're not going to get our broccoli, and we're not going to get our milk, and we're not going to get our packaging.
No, until something happens to get like. So how do we where did it all begin? How's it going to stop? Like, I heard we have a storage of fuel here. I don't know if it's true or not, but
can I tilt your camera down for a second, Wayne?
You can see my bald head. Is that
there
better?
You go. Much better.
Yeah, you can see my bald head. Yeah. I'm sitting down, you know.
Yeah.
A little bit stressed at the moment, you know.
No, I'm sorry to hear it.
No, well, it's what it is. What it is, like, yeah, and I won't be the only ones. Look at the people. Look at the tradies. Okay, people that drive from Frankston, right, which is what you know, an hour and a bit the other side of Melbourne. They come to Melbourne every day in their utes, you know, and they've got to go to their company. And like, we've just had major collapses of the big giant construction companies collapse, you know. So how do you think the traders are going to go when they say, well, I need to put my rates up, you know?
Well, this is everything, isn't it? Like the trucks don't just transport food and parcels; they transport the wood for buildings, the materials. They transport water to countries towns that need it. Everything relies on the trucks, and if you guys are shut down, then our country is in trouble.
Oh, it's going to. What about Uber? I'll shut Uber down too, and taxis. You won't be going nowhere. I'm hoping it doesn't get like that, but at the moment, a lot of companies now, transport companies across the other side of town, are closing up. Right? They can't keep running. They can't keep running. Not like this. And what do we do about it?
Well, like you said earlier, this is just the start of it. Like if fuel prices go up any more, then we're going to start seeing our society in a very different state.
If it hits $2.50, right? So what are we at now? We're at $2.23, I think, getting close to $2.30. If it is $2.30, $2.50, what's the point? What's the point of even starting the key? You know, I had to go to the doctor's.
They'll blame all this on the Russian crisis, but of course we know that we only get 0.6% of our fuel from Russia, so that makes no sense whatsoever.
I'm pro-choice, as you know, Ryan. We've discussed this before. I'm pro-choice, and with what's happening now, I'm sort of pro-choice with that. It's their war, you know. I feel sorry. A war is a war. You know, people think, oh well, humanity in that, but. Yeah, I don't want to get stabbed in the face, but look at all the other wars, the Afghanistan and all that, and look at the other wars that are going on now. People die in wars. The government, if the government really cared, they could stop any wars. But war is money, isn't it?
That's right, big cash, yeah, but not for us, not for the people.
Huge cash. You know, look at the pandemic. You know, you'll be right. We're in this together. Were we? You know, really, were we? Yeah, the rich got richer and we're all struggling. Look at it. And what do you do?
I hope that I hope that for your sake, the fuel prices do go down, that the Saudis do release oil for us. But we've seen that Biden's plea for oil was met with a hand in the face by the Saudis recently, and I think that that might have something to do with it.
You know, I haven't heard what's going on. I'd sort of keep away from all that now, Ryan. You know, it's as bad as what it is.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
at what cost are we going to pay for it?
well, what's the plans for the companies like yours? Is it to basically put up the prices of transport of goods, so that then passes on to the consumer?
Well, they got to put their prices up to the owners of the developer, right, of the sites, and if they say no, it is what it is. You know, so they've got their cost. They put it. They've got the quotas, so you know they could put up the cost, the owner, but would the owner put up? And if the owner says no, then the company will just go no, can't do it.
Right. So the companies might just shut down at basically at the core value, the core areas.
No, they won't. They won't shut down. Let's just get someone else in who can do it cheaper. That's all. You know, like I said, we get a lot of foreign drivers over here now, right? Like the majority of drivers now over here, yeah, very lucky to get the Aussie. Very lucky, right? I'm 60. I'm still going. All the new drivers nowadays are foreign drivers, okay? So, and that's not being rude, I hope. But and without education, without the education of how we drive over here, so they'll get people like that in, like, you know, they may hit the fence now and then, or hit a car that's parked near the driveway, but that's okay. That's what insurance is for. But yeah. Look, I reckon Easter's coming around the corner. If he hits $3 by then, yeah, we're in trouble, right?
Right.
Big trouble.
Well, we really appreciate the heads up there. And sorry to hear that a lot of the truckies are unfortunately unable to work because of this. And well, hopefully it gets better.
They don't have a leg to stand on, right? You know, they got no one to turn to. All they can do is ask the company. If the company says yes, we'll do it. Good. But, you know, like Sydney, the owner drivers up there are on a more hourly rate than what we are down here, you know. So we really need $1.10 an hour. You know, just give us $1.10 an hour and we'll be right.
Yeah, they're paying 54 cents a litre at the moment in Russia. Yeah.
54 cents. 54 cents a litre in diesel.
Well, see, Russia was smart, and they were basically pumping their own oil and not relying on international systems.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah, we could have the same in Australia. Yeah.
We could, couldn't we? Like I was reading, how much does government get in our fuel tax? 30 cents or some shit out of a dollar? Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rich get richer, Ron. The rich get richer, man. You know, they're sitting in their beautiful house and they're not worried, are they?
I think it's time that we start pressuring our government to start pumping our oil again and looking after our people.
I'm trying to work out who's going to be the next person in.
Well, people like One Nation.
Next person.
If people like One Nation get elected, then they're promising to at least subsidize the fuel a bit more. But maybe
bring it down.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like, how are people going to go on holidays this Easter? You know?
I'll be walking, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we'll go back to horse and cart. Why not?
Yeah, we'll get lots of hay. That's going to be cheaper than oil, and look after our horses, and we'll be all right.
True. Well, how do you think it's going to affect you, Ryan?
Affect me? Well, I'm living in the middle of the country, so it takes at least an hour's driving to get to the store and back to get some food. So we're going to have to basically minimize our trips to town to once, maybe twice a week for now. But if things get more expensive, then it might be once a week.
Wow.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna hurt everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's so wrong. So wrong.
Well, again, if we
They
get
could have been getting the oil from somewhere else.
everything's going
Well,
through Singapore.
yeah.
All our ports have been sold to China. All electricity companies have been sold, or most of them have been sold to China. So they control our infrastructure. And now,
Really?
they basically Singapore controlling our oil. That's very little in our control now.
Blue.
Mm.
So Singapore's going to control our oil. Wow.
They always have. They have for a long time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a shock.
Yeah.
It's going to be fuck right. I reckon between now and the end of the month, let's see what happens then. You know, I haven't been shopping, so I haven't been in the supermarkets to see the shelves and that. But yeah, like these foreign drivers, mate, you're seeing me out just parking up. It's hitting them too, you know, because they come over here and they're given a fair bit of money, and what they do, they purchase their first new truck, right? So it's on finance. So what they do when it's time to either go back or they can't, they don't have the money to repay it. They park it in industrial areas, right, and then claim it on insurance. And yeah, you find them everywhere. Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, we'll wrap it up there.
It's going to be the farmers as well. I mean, they're going to be basically running their tractors in the fields, and they're going to have to charge like $5 a carrot, you know, to pay for the fuel costs.
Yeah. And again, hang on. There was a government big pay rise to the people on disability and the pension, and that still wasn't enough. Did you hear about that?
No.
Oh, it's like they're giving an extra $20. Like, oh, that's nice, thank you. You know, like you really bent over for that, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, but hey, you gave yourself a fucking 500.
They're trying to buy a pension.
Rise.
Obviously, trying to buy a pensioner votes with as little as possible.
Exactly. That's what they were doing, right? And them pensioners, they need a slapping. Stop voting for it.
Yeah, I reckon. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up then.
All right.
And
all right.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
So that was Wayne, obviously talking about what's going on from his end, telling us what's happening with the truckers. And thanks for tuning in. We're going to be covering this topic a fair bit in the next few weeks. And see you next time.